Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that, digs into those markets that might seem a bit specific at first glance, but actually tell us a lot about the bigger picture.
That's right, finding the fascinating stories in the data.
And today, we are definitely diving deep into one of those, the global Grapple Buckets market.
Grapple buckets. Okay, maybe not a household name for everyone.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But stick with us. Think giant metal claws on excavators,
Uh-huh.
the kind that grab huge, awkward things, demolition waste, logs, big rocks, scrap metal.
Absolutely essential tools for some major industries: construction, forestry, recycling, quarrying. The list goes on.
Exactly. So while Grapple Bucket sounds niche, their market tells a really interesting story about global industry and development.
Mm-hmm.
Our source today is the Global Grapple Buckets Market Report 2025-2033 analysis from Cognitive Market Research. And our mission, well, it's to pull out the key insights. We'll look back at 2021, see where we stand now in 2025, and then look ahead to the projections for 2033.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start big picture, globally. The report puts the market value back in 2021 at $1,342.79 million.
A pretty substantial base to begin with.
Right. And now for 2025, it's estimated at $1,682.1 million. So definite growth there.
Or seen a climb.
But the projection for 2033 is where it really jumps out. They're forecasting $2,639.61 million.
Wow, that's nearly double the 2021 figure.
Exactly. And that translates to a global compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 5.794% over that period.
And that 5.794%, it's more than just a statistic. It really signals strong demand, consistent adoption across industries all over the world.
So it suggests real activity, like in construction demolition.
Precisely. Heavy construction, recycling is huge too, forestry.
Yeah.
They're all investing in this kind of tech for efficiency, for handling materials better. It makes this market kind of a quiet indicator of broader economic health and infrastructure work.
Interesting. A barometer, as you said. Okay, let's break that down regionally. Where should we start? North America seems like a logical place.
Definitely a major player.
Okay, so North America. In 2021, the market there was worth $535.773 million. By 2025, it's up to $669.139 million.
Mm-hmm.
And the projection for 2033, over $1 billion. 1,015.999 million, actually.
Right. And that carries a CAGR of 5.359%. Still very solid growth.
So what does that tell us about North America specifically?
Well, it highlights, I think, its mature industrial base. There's an ongoing need, maybe not explosive growth like some emerging regions, but steady investment in infrastructure repairs, new builds, commercial development. It's consistent.
And the U.S. is the biggest piece of that pie, right?
Oh, absolutely. The U.S. market was over $407 million back in 2021, heading towards, $757 million by 2033. That's the lion's share.
But Canada and Mexico are contributing too.
They really are. Canada's showing particularly strong growth, actually. Its CAGR is higher at 6.328%.
Higher than the U.S. Why might that be?
Could be linked to its resource sectors, mining, forestry, big users of this equipment, plus general infrastructure. And Mexico's expanding steadily, too, around 5.76% CAGR, reflecting its own industrial growth.
Okay, so a strong, established market in North America. Let's hop over to Europe. How does it compare?
Europe's figures, let's see. 2021 was $386.7 million. It's grown to $482.4 million in 2025.
And projected to reach $738.8 million by 2033. The CAGR there is 5.472%.
So quite similar to North America in terms of the overall growth rate. It suggests, ongoing industrial activity, maybe a big focus on modernizing infrastructure, and definitely recycling and waste management, which is a big deal across Europe.
But the report breaks it down further within Europe. It's not all the same pace, is it?
Not at all. You've got steady players like the UK and Germany. Their CGR is around 4.5, 4.6%. Solid, but foundational.
But then you mentioned France and Italy showing stronger momentum.
Exactly. France stands out. Its CAGR is projected at 6.627%. That's quite a bit higher.
Wow, yeah. Any thoughts on why France is accelerating like that?
Likely specific investments, maybe large construction projects, industrial upgrades. Italy's also showing healthy growth, around 6% CAGR.
And what about the rest of Europe? That category seems quite significant.
It really is. That bucket, grouping various other countries, actually shows the highest growth within Europe, a CAGR of nearly 7%, 6.926 to be exact. It means demand is pretty broad-based, not just concentrated in the biggest economies.
Interesting. Okay, let's shift gears now to Asia-Pacific. The report flags this as one of the fastest growing regions.
Absolutely. The numbers really reflect that.
Okay, 2021. $253.787 million. By 2025, it's already jumped to $319.9 million.
Mm-hmm. A significant leap already.
And the forecast for 2033 is $538.7 million, with a regional CGR of 6.731%.
That faster pace, that 6.7%, it's directly tied to massive development. We're talking rapid urbanization, huge infrastructure projects, expanding manufacturing. Countries across APAC are building at an incredible rate.
Just fundamentally reshaping things.
Pretty much. New cities, transport networks, industrial zones, all requiring heavy equipment like grapple buckets.
And within APAC, India is highlighted for remarkable growth.
India's the standout, yeah. Its CAGR is the highest in the region, a striking 7.807%.
Nearly 8%.
It reflects, I think, their huge infrastructure ambitions, roads, smart cities, and also a massive push in recycling, which needs this kind of sorting capability.
China and Japan are obviously big players too, volume-wise.
Well, yes, major contributors. But India's rate of growth is notable. And actually, another one to watch is Singapore.
Singapore. It's small geographically.
It is, but the report points to particularly high growth there. A PAGR over 8%, 8.235%.
Really? What's driving that?
Likely very high-value, complex projects,
Yeah.
advanced construction techniques, maybe sophisticated recycling facilities. It shows that even smaller, highly developed economies can have intense demand for specialized equipment.
Fascinating. Okay, let's move to South America now. Another region showing strong growth, right?
Yes, very much so. The CAGR there is actually even higher than Asia-Pacific's overall rate.
We'll see the numbers. 2021 was $87.28 million.
Mm-hmm.
2025 is $111.3 million. And the 2033 projection is $190.3 million.
And that gives it a KGR of 6.929%, almost 7% growth year on year.
What's fueling that expansion in South America?
A lot of it seems tied to its natural resource sectors, mining, agriculture, big ones, plus, like elsewhere, significant infrastructure investment, both public and private sector driven. As these economies develop, the need for efficient material handling just skyrockets.
Brazil leads the pack, I assume.
Brazil contributes the most in absolute terms, yes. PICARD are around 6.5%. But what's really interesting is that Argentina and Colombia are showing even faster growth rates.
Oh.
Yeah, both Argentina and Colombia have KGRs over 7.6%.
So it's not just Brazil driving the bus.
Exactly. It suggests development is quite widespread, urban expansion, maybe energy projects, general industrial upgrades happening across multiple countries in the region.
Okay, that paints a dynamic picture for South America.
Yeah.
Now let's pivot to the Middle East. The report suggests a different story here.
A bit different, yes. More moderate growth compared to, say, Asia-Pacific or South America.
The figures show $49.6 million in 2021, growing to $60.2 million in 2025, and projected at $78.9 million in 2033.
Which gives it a CAGR of 3.439%, noticeably lower.
Why the slower pace, do you think?
Well, it could be that many Middle Eastern nations, especially in the Gulf, have already gone through their biggest phase of mega project construction, the huge foundational build-outs.
So the market is more mature, perhaps.
Potentially. Demand might be shifting more towards maintenance, specialized projects, maybe replacements, rather than equipping massive new developments at the same scale as before. The purchasing cycle changes.
The report does mention contributions from Saudi Arabia, Turkey, UAE, Egypt, Qatar.
Right, there's still activity across the board.
But it highlights the UAE as having stronger growth within the region.
Yes, the UAE often maintains a slightly higher pace. Its CAGR is around 4.5%, probably due to its continued focus on diversification, tourism infrastructure, high-value projects, keeps the demand for specialized gear a bit more elevated.
Okay, that makes sense. Finally, let's turn to Africa. This region is flagged as another very fast-growing market.
Indeed, the growth rates here are really quite impressive.
Right. Africa started at $29.5 million in 2021. It's up to $39 million in 2025. And the 2033 forecast is $76.8 million.
More than doubling from 2025 to 2033.
And that comes with a CAGR of 8.833%. That's huge.
It really is remarkable. It clearly points to significant foundational investment across the continent. New ports, roads, mining expansion, urbanization. Africa's seriously building its infrastructure base.
A sign of emerging industrial power.
Absolutely. A key GR like that signals a fundamental shift, unlocking potential.
And within Africa, Nigeria and South Africa are mentioned as leaders.
Yes, both showing very strong CGRs themselves, over 8.4% each, driven by ambitious projects, no doubt.
But the rest of Africa category, that seems to be where the most explosive growth is happening.
That's perhaps the most striking point globally. That rest of Africa segment is projected to grow from about $14 million in 2021 to nearly $38 million by 2033.
And the CGR.
The highest reported across the entire globe in this analysis, 9.22%.
Wow. 9.2%.
It suggests really broad-based development is taking off, maybe in countries or sectors that were previously less developed. New industries, resource extraction kicking into high gear.
Wow.
It's an incredible acceleration.
Truly preparing to move mountains, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, quite a journey through the numbers. Let's try and wrap this up. What are the big takeaways?
Well, the main headline is clearly healthy, sustained growth pretty much everywhere for Grapple buckets. That global market heading towards $2.64 billion by 2033 is significant.
Right, nearly doubling in about 12 years.
And the real engines of that growth, the fastest accelerators, are undoubtedly Asia-Pacific, South America, and especially Africa.
So what does this consistent demand across so many places and industries actually tell us?
It tells us about, the pace of global development, the ongoing need for better infrastructure, more efficient resource management, the rise of recycling. This seemingly niche piece of equipment is actually reflecting some major worldwide trends. It's a solid indicator of industrial progress.
Okay, so a final thought for you, our listener. It's easy to just track the big-name industries, right?
Yeah.
The ones always in the news.
Yeah.
But this deep dive into something like Grapple buckets really shows how dynamic these specialized markets can be. They reveal these huge global shifts quietly happening under the surface. So the question to ponder is, what other overlooked, maybe seemingly niche industries do you think are experiencing similar quiet but really robust global growth right now? What else might be signaling these big transformations in our world?